Hey guys, this is Jenny.
Keep it going. Keep it rolling.
Hey guys, this is the RoundTable. It is episode 105. And if you didn't know from what I just said, I am Jenny Walker, the social media ministry leader here at Life Church. I've never done that before. And this is Mike Hill. He is our lead pastor. And sitting in between us is Sally Knuckles.
Yay.
That was so weird.
I know.
It was so natural, too.
I know. That's it. Hey, guys, I'm Jenny. the thing I've been thinking about the most. Hey, guys. Hey, guys, I'm Jenny.
It's like practicing my own podcast or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got a quick question. How long have you been coming to Life?
I think it's going on 8 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You were in the upstairs days.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah.
And you've been coming to Champs the whole time, right? Pretty much?
Not the whole time. I started, I did Vacation Bible School, and I was with Tammy, and she was telling me about it. For some reason, I just thought that was a gym out there where they did Kung Fu or something like that. Whatever. I don't know.
We did such a good job of marketing it to our own church. The people that came thought it was a Kung Fu gym.
That's
I don't
amazing.
know. So she was telling me about it, and so then I came and Rayanne talked about it on one of the women's groups.
Mm.
So then I came in and talked to Rayanne and Kelly, and thought I need to get, because I said I need to get started in that. And then she said, "Oh, well, you might just fit in with this group, the Golden Girls, in the morning." And
That you guys have a name?
they called themselves, I don't know. They started calling themselves the Golden Girls. They'd
Well,
been
you're
here
now
when
one of
Lisa
them?
was
Yes.
here.
You're one of them now?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
For a long
I was-
time.
Yeah, I wasn't one when I first started because I wasn't quite, I don't even know if I was 62. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, and she says, "You might know him." Well, she started naming all. Yeah, I do. I know him. I'm going to call Joellen tonight and tell her I'm going to join your group.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah,
you joined the Golden Girls.
the Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. And,
And
you
we've had a
come-
lot come and leave. And,
Yeah.
But there's like 4 of us that are still there a lot. And
Okay.
we've got some new ones. And then now there's 4 of us that from that group, we started our own Bible study on
Really?
Wednesdays after we're doing the Women of the Bible.
Wow.
And Joelle and I was going to do it a year ago. We bought the little book Genesis and we did it. And then, it was just 2 of us. And then, things come up. And so we said, okay, we got to get back to doing that.
Okay.
And then Benita and Peggy came on. So, yeah, we
So
started
you're
doing
studying
that.
Women of the Bible.
Women of the Bible. So we started with Ruth.
Mm.
Wow.
And then Peggy had Taylor send us that Media Light.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we got
Yeah.
a bunch of information off of that. So we watch like a little script of it,
Yeah.
and then we just discuss it afterwards.
Any interesting fact that you learned that you were like, wow, I didn't know this about Ruth or this about one of the women? Anything that stands out?
I don't know, because I've read that story a lot. I mean,
Okay. So it wasn't.
yeah.
I just didn't know
Yeah.
if there was something like, oh, wow, that was something that,
Mhm.
yeah, after learning that
No,
about
because
her.
that's one of the stories I think I've known that, so it's been a pretty easy
Yeah.
one. But
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
How
tell us-
often do you guys go? Don't you go like 3 times a week or so?
yeah, the gym we go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
That's amazing.
A couple of them come in Tuesday and Thursdays, but I ride my bike usually, or I'll walk at home. If it's
Mhm.
windy, I don't ride my bike out in the country, but I like the bike rides. So I got up this morning and took my bike ride.
you
Hot.
bike ride
So-
out in the country?
On my road, it's just, we're like kind of out in the corner between between Meridian Road and 114,
Okay.
and it's like 100 East.
Okay.
And so it's like 10 miles, from 114 to the other end of the road. So I go anywhere from usually 6 to 10 miles. Depends on, if I get up early enough.
Do you
'cause I don't
have
know what
like
I'm
a
doing.
special bike or are you riding one with a basket on the front?
No, it's
I mean, is it-
picturing it.
it's not with a basket, but I have one of those little pencil things so I can put my phone in it
Yes.
because I don't like carrying my phone in my
Right.
pocket or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm
But
envisioning you.
it's not a
Like a biking
it's not
bike.
a biking bike.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
because
just
I'm envisioning you
but
in like
it's-
this tight outfit with a helmet on,
No,
with your head
no.
down, and you're just like pedaling away. Or I'm envisioning you with a big basket on the
Yes.
front with a banana seat
yes.
and
No.
little clicker things in your wheels.
And a little dog in
No.
it.
So it's
No.
something in between that.
It's just like it's probably like a Schwinn old
Mm.
bike, or I mean,
Yeah.
it's got the gears, like 4 gears on it.
Does it have a
but
dinger?
No,
Oh.
no, but it has like the brake things,
Okay.
So I have
You always
to.
gotta have a bell on your
Yeah.
bike.
No, I don't have a bell,
Oh.
and I don't wear the helmet, and I've been told I need to. I always try to wear something bright,
Yeah.
but and I don't. And I remember when I retired, the girls, because I walked a lot up that road, and they got me one of those little yellow vest things,
Mm.
but I never wore it. Maybe a couple times.
Well, that's super impressive. How old are you? Are we allowed to ask that?
I'm 68.
Wow.
And you're biking
Or
10
yeah.
miles?
68, 67.
6 to 10.
It's one of those.
I'm going to be 68.
So is
Well,
that
that's
like, has it always been a part of your life? You've always loved exercise?
Yeah, I always, especially after, okay, I didn't always exercise. I guess I did, but nothing like now. But with the boys and I was in a bad accident.
Mm.
So after that, because I had a broken ankle, I had messed up ankle for a while, my foot, and I had a crushed vertebrae in my back. And I walked a lot. I did a lot of stretching. The doctors told me, there wasn't much more they could do, but I wasn't going to, just not be able to do nothing. So I walked a lot, and I'd be in a lot of pain. I ended up having a fusion on this ankle like 20 years after that, because this was in my
Wow.
20s when we had the accident. So then I had a fusion. So now he thinks that he wants to give me one on my ankle. I said, no more fusions, because you kind of lose mobility.
Really?
some. Yeah. But so I can't really run anymore. But he did tell
You
me
were a
not
runner before?
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
never
gonna be
was.
like, holy crap.
No, never,
Yeah.
never was a runner. No. But I mean, I just, like when we have events here,
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually run. I usually walk.
Yeah.
Only because it just after
'Cause
that
running's
fusion,
stupid.
it's kind of hard.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
hard for, when you after you have a fusion. But anyways, other than that, I mean, I used to walk the road, but I quit walking the road because he said it wasn't good because, the roads are unlevel.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a treadmill at home, so I'll do that.
Right.
But I thought, I'm going to start bike riding. So
Mm.
Wow.
I've been bike riding, and it's just a quiet time for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I can just kind of, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
That's part of my getting close to God, I think. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah
Just
wants
being-
me to go walking with her, and I'm like, have you looked at your legs and my legs? Like, these things I'm not keeping up with you. Like, she wants me to go walk, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. You're going to be half a mile down the road while I'm still
Yep.
my little feet patter along, and her great big long
That is
legs.
true.
Yeah, going down the road. So she's like, ride a bike. I'm like, I'll get a bike as long as it has an electric option. You know what I mean? Like, you could be pedaling normal,
Yeah.
but then when
Yeah.
you want to kick the electric in,
That'd be nice.
yeah,
That'd be
they
really
make those
nice.
things, right?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
make
yeah.
bikes
do.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
little
Yeah.
neighbor boy has one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, anything else exciting going on in your life now?
No, just my grandkids, and I enjoy time with them. And
Spend a lot of time with them?
I do, yeah, the 2 little boys, my daughter I have 2 sons and a daughter, and she's like 10 years younger. So she's got 2 little ones, 2 and 4, soon to be 3 and 5. And my older son, he lives in Danville, so I don't see her as much. When she was little, we used to get her a lot. But once, school starts,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
they get
she does
super
volleyball
busy.
now, and they travel a lot. But, we try to do as much as that as possible. She's 16. And then her brother, which is our step grandson, but he's,
Mhm.
he's 23. I don't know.
Wow.
But,
Wow.
we used to have them a lot
Yeah.
when they were younger. But,
Things change,
oh, yeah,
right?
it
Yeah,
changes.
everything
Yeah.
changes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so anything you watching, anything you reading? Do you like to
No,
read?
I don't like to read.
I'm with
I
you,
mean,
Sally.
but I do. I mean, I've found some books I might, and I'll really get into it, but
Mhm.
it'd have to be in the wintertime because I'm just,
Yeah.
I
You wanna
don't
be
sit long
outdoors.
enough. I
Yep.
can't sit.
Mhm.
Right.
But I did do a book, Woman of the Word,
Hmm.
but it was like a Bible study.
Yeah.
Because one of the girls in my gym, she goes to Union Church, so we
Mhm.
did that a few weeks ago,
Okay.
and that was nice.
Yeah.
It was just meet some other new women, but
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite movie?
not really. I like Princess Cinderella movie.
Yes, Princess Diaries.
I did.
That's a good one.
Princess what?
Princess Diaries.
Princess Diary.
Yeah,
that's a
she's
good
the one where she doesn't know she's a queen or a
Yeah,
princess, and then
princess.
she finds out that she's a princess and becomes a princess of this weird country.
Yeah. She grew up like in New
Yeah.
York, Manhattan,
Uh-huh.
whatever. and
Yeah.
just,
And
Yeah.
found out she's a princess.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's a princess.
And she doesn't feel worthy of being a princess, and then like time goes on, and eventually she does, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
story.
It's really good.
Is that your favorite movie too?
No, but that used to be like one of my favorite movies.
You like the Cinderella stuff?
Oh yeah.
That's such a contrast. You watch How to Murder People and you like Cinderella movies, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta mix it up. Happy medium, you know?
yeah, you go from wanting to learn to murder people to
Yeah.
princesses.
You and Rayanne, you both like those?
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, Rayanne knows every single way to kill a person.
Yep, she does.
She listens to murder podcasts
Right.
all the time. You know how unsettling it is to sit with somebody and be like, what have you been up to? I binge listen to murder podcasts. I'm like, oh yeah, and like how to murder people.
No, it's not how to murder. It's telling the story of murder.
Yeah, how to
Yeah.
murder
Well,
them.
it's just like
But
true crime, like
how
watching
it happened.
documentaries.
Yeah, how to
Yeah.
put antifreeze in somebody's drink and you drink
Yes.
it over time
Well, that
and
is
you end up
true.
croaking
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
you know how to do that now.
Well, yeah.
Have
But
you
it
ever
does,
met-
yeah, it gives everybody those ideas.
Yeah,
Like,
see?
Not that they would do
Yes.
it.
Yeah, you watch them and then everybody gets the idea, oh, I'm going to go out and do that.
Well, hopefully not everybody.
Okay. All right.
but at least you have an idea. So if somebody's doing it to you, you'll know what to do. right?
Exactly.
Okay, Sally, tell us about your life.
My life.
From around
Okay.
here, grew up around
I
here.
grew up here in Huntington. I have 3 sisters and a brother. Actually, I just grew up over here on Webster Street,
Oh,
wow. Really?
right behind where the Boys and Girls Club is. There's a big white house there on the corner. And
That
So
was
does
the
it
house
look a
you grew
lot
up?
different down here than it used to? Like the
Yeah.
area? Like has a lot changed?
oh yeah, well, and my grandparents lived second door to us, and their
Wow.
house is torn down. They had one of those old colonial looking homes with the, big poles. Things,
Yeah.
the porches.
Yeah.
And the Church of God bought that house and the other neighbor's house, and they tore those down. Well, the Boys and Girls Club tore down Lola's house,
Hmm.
but they used them for like Sunday school classes. And then when the Boys and Girls bought it, then, it's all built up there now. But
Yeah.
no, it was a fun neighborhood. It was. I was an East Ender, on the other side of the tracks. That's what they used to say.
Is that what they wait? What
That's what
was
they'd
it?
say,
Easton?
If you're on the other side of the tracks, you're like an East Ender. But like my mom and dad always said, you're no different than anybody else. You're just as good. So,
Aw,
Yeah, because it's like on this side of the tracks, bad. This side of the
Yeah.
tracks, good.
are you
Kinda.
serious?
yeah, some people would look. Yeah.
When
Wow.
we first got here, I won't name the guy's name, but he was like, let me tell you about Huntington. So we got together and he puts out this map of Huntington and he draws like highlights
No.
and is like,
Really?
on this side of the tracks, this is where all the trashier, rah, rah, rah.
Wow.
Yeah, like this is a known fact. This is what he's saying. So he draws all these lines and goes through these so this is what you're calling the East Enders. I don't remember what he
I don't
called
know.
them, but it's
The other side of the tracks.
Yeah,
But
it's like-
East Ender is more over towards this area
Wow.
too. But it's
Yeah.
still East. Yeah.
yeah, either way, he was just drawing out like this is why you don't want to. This was before we picked a building.
Oh.
This is why you don't want a building down here because this is kind of the group of
Really?
people that are down here, and this is where the north side's where everything's going to be growing. And yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, kind of off the
Wow.
subject, but interesting on how people view.
Yeah. People view things as.
And how
Yeah.
it follows down. Like that had to come generationally, like from his family. Cause I don't feel like you hear that much anymore.
About this
Yeah.
side of the tracks,
Yeah.
that side of the
Yeah.
tracks.
I feel like it's kind of gone away. I don't think people really look at it like that.
The Chinese probably
Yeah.
didn't own a bunch of houses in Huntington back then either. Like
They do
did, like
now?
they do now.
They do now?
Just saying, you
That's
should
what I
probably check
have.
that out.
Okay.
I don't know. I got married and then I moved to Roanoke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I would never move back into town. I love the country. Yeah. So we live in the country. And
Oh, in Roanoke,
yeah,
you live in the
in
country?
Roanoke, yeah.
Okay.
So you grew up and you went to Huntington.
Huntington North, yeah.
It was called Huntington North back then?
Yeah. Huntington North.
I always thought it was like called something else because there was like two. Was there ever two high schools?
No.
No.
But the old high school was where okay, so I grew up where I grew up. I was in the Central area, even though I was on this side of the track. I went to Central until 5th grade. Then they changed the boundaries. I went over to Riley, which it was over here off of
Riley?
Yeah, Riley, but it's not there anymore. They've tore that down. It was Riley. It was
Wow.
I went there 6th grade. And then Lincoln they turned that into Center because I think I went there 7th grade.
Jeez.
Weird.
Yeah.
You like transferred all around.
I know. Yeah, I rode my bus. I think I rode the bus first time was when we went to Center. And then, because I walked to school. I walked to school on all those bad snowy days. We didn't get snow days.
Wow.
We walked and we went.
See, those
That's
are the
amazing.
things. Those are the things I heard from my dad.
So what about
We used
like,
to walk to school in the snow.
yeah. And like
yeah.
what, a storm? Because you know they just closed school this year for that storm.
I mean, we used to get lots of snow. We would walk to school and walk home for lunch.
Wow.
Yeah. When I went to Central, they never had cafeteria there.
They didn't?
No.
Didn't have any government
Well, yeah, they
paying
did.
for all
Yeah,
the
they
food.
did. I think later they had
Oh.
it. They had it, but not when I first started. I think they had it later because we walked up to the high school and went to the cafeteria, which
Really?
was Crestview then. I mean, it ended up Crestview because then I went to Crestview, 7th I went to 7th to Lincoln. I always get this mess up. 8th,
Yeah, that's a lot.
and part of 9th, and then that's when the new school was being built, and we went half days. So I think the older
Wow.
kids went in the morning, we went in that or afternoon or something like that.
This was even in 7th grade?
No, that was 8th grade.
Well, that's
I
what
think
I'm
9th
talking
grade
about,
because
half
I
days.
ended up
Yes.
10th, 11th, and 12th at the high school.
How nice.
Just to
was
be able to
that?
go half a
Yeah,
day.
Yeah,
nice,
that's
yeah.
all you need, really.
Yeah.
No, for real. Like the homeschooling people, they said that all you really need when you break it down, instead of
It's-
changing classes, the extracurriculars and all that, it's really only 2 hours a
Right.
day.
That's what my daughter's getting ready to homeschool.
Yeah.
Our little one, and that's what she said. It's when you think about it, all that they do, the waste of time. Yeah,
It's amazing.
But okay, so yeah,
So
Grew up
you grew
here.
up here.
I grew up here. I have 3 sisters and a brother. We all live around here.
Wow.
Oh, really? Nobody ever moved away?
No, not my one older sister moved away a couple times and came back, but the rest of us have all been here. Actually, us 4 girls all married a Roanoke guy.
Whoa.
I don't know why. I always said I wasn't marrying a Roanoke guy because I went with another guy all through school and part of after school, but I ended up marrying a Roanoke guy.
Are the Roanoke guys like of a different cloth or,
Yeah,
Roanoke
why-
and Huntington used to be a rivalry when there was, when the
Really?
schools first consolidated, before they consolidated. Oh, yeah.
What?
Roanoke and Huntington didn't really like each other.
That is
so-
hilarious.
Well, there is kind of a divide. It's like Roanoke's the rich kids and Huntington's the rest of us.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, isn't that kind of how it is?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Huh?
I
I
don't
don't know if
know.
they're rich, all the rich kids, but
I'm saying what people, not
Oh,
saying
maybe
that
what
it's
people-
true.
I
I'm
don't know,
saying
yeah.
that the more wealthy or better off kids are at Roanoke.
Because
and
it's
then-
closer to a big city like Fort Wayne. Is that what you
I don't know. I'm just saying, I think that would be what a lot of people would say, even when my kids were in school,
Mm.
I think. But so I just didn't know if like the Roanoke kids were like cut from a different cloth or just,
I don't know.
yeah.
And I, when I got to high school, I had friends in Roanoke and I had friends in Warren. So I mean, it was kind of nice. When we all consolidated, I had different groups and all.
You liked it when it all consolidated.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I mean, actually, I think we really could use 2 high schools. It's way
Yes.
too big, but at that point, I didn't really care. I was just
Yeah. You were a kid. It didn't really
Just a
matter.
kid,
Yeah.
didn't
Bring
it?
them all together.
So you were
Yeah.
the one of the
Okay.
first
yeah.
in
pretty
that
much.
building that's there right now?
Well, there was ones that started up there. That's when we went half days or
Right.
something. I vaguely remember it, but I remember us going half days, and then we were there the
Wow.
next year. It was my
So you like
sophomore year.
opened that school.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So did you grow up in the church? Did you guys go to church?
Yeah, we went to church. Church right over here on Riverside, little Methodist church.
Okay.
It used to be Bethel. I think it still is Bethel Methodist, but it used to be a Brethren church, I think, at one time. But I grew up there. That's where Barry and I got married. We went to church a lot. I mean, a lot. Probably grew away more, as I got older. My parents, they would go off and on, but we went. My grandparents lived second door, so a lot of times they would drag me along with them too.
Yeah.
But no, I felt like I knew, was introduced to Jesus a long time ago when I was younger. Always, you have to have Jesus in your heart. Jesus loves you. My grandma always said that. We used to have like a lot of Sunday meals and, together and my other aunts, they'd come down, and because my mom's other two sisters lived out of state, but we always tried to get together, had a lot of family stuff. And I would always go to, like, the Church of God was behind me. And then there was another Brethren church on State Street. And I would go to the vacation Bible schools all the time.
Yeah.
So I
would hit up different ones.
Yeah,
like
just make your
during
rounds.
summer.
Yeah, during the summer. Yeah. And I had a friend that her dad was a preacher over at the one Brethren church on State Street.
That's amazing.
And then, but the Church of God was always right there. So I just always, went to Bible school. It was fun. Got to go out and play games.
Yeah.
Right. So was Barry a Christian when you met him? Did you guys meet in high school?
No, I knew him in school, but he was, not in my league or whatever. He shouldn't have said that.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it that way.
Did you just dig a ditch for yourself?
I did. No, I mean, I just didn't hang out with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just different crowds.
But he probably was at some things because there was a lot of people we knew from Roanoke in my group that I hung out with, But no, I actually met him when I worked after I graduated. I went to work at, this was after in between, because I went to work for the state like right away.
Oh, wow.
I went to work at HK Porter, got laid off like within 6 months, and I was in the office and I had bought a car, and it was like, oh, what am I going to do now? But I went down to the unemployment office and to apply for unemployment, and the guy behind the counter says, well, here's an application. You want to apply for a job? I said, sure. So
that was nice.
And back then you had to take a test and all this. But so I went in, I worked for Workforce Development, unemployment office for like 6 years off and on. And, but in between that time, I did take a job. I had went to work at Timbercrest. It was a truck stop up there, and I kept the books. That's where Barry worked.
Okay.
And Barry was always real quiet and more, but he would, only time I'd hear him when he was not doing real well and working on the cars and throw something down or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just kind of went out one night, and then we just kind of.
Love at first sight.
Maybe.
You just knew you were going to marry him. Is that your story?
I think so.
Was that his story?
We did. We did.
Yeah.
And so, and his family is, he comes from a Christian background. His mother was a loving Christian woman. Maybe those kids give her fits, but, they always were in church. And, but yeah, I think that's the way God had it planned, because he's been a good husband, father.
And so faith has always, was there ever a time that it was?
Well, I'm not saying, when I was in high school, I wasn't perfect, and I still, but no, I believe when I was younger, I asked Jesus into my life, but the real time was, there was at the College Park Church, and I was a teenager. I'm thinking 15 or something like that. And I went to like a crusade or something like that. And I remember going down to the altar. And I feel like, and that's when I really felt a big change.
Right.
But, then I'm still a teenager but I always felt convicted. I knew,
Yeah.
You
something
knew the
was,
right thing.
I
Yep.
knew something was going on, I
That you
wasn't
never
doing
felt
something
before.
right. Right.
Yeah.
But, I just, forgive me, Jesus. And, and I was never real bad. But,
Right.
Right.
but I did party
Yeah, I
some.
mean, you just barely hear stories of like faith was a big part of my life. I got married.
Yeah.
Faith was a big part of our marriage, and it's like goes all the way through. Usually there's
Yeah.
this like it was good, and then we kind of went away, and then we came back. But for you guys, it's been good all the way through.
Well, I mean, we had our ups and downs, and we went to church when we was going to a Baptist church with his mom and dad, and his dad didn't really go to church much then, and that's where I was baptized because I was just sprinkled as a kid, and I
Right.
got baptized there, and then that pastor left up there. Then we ended up at Pleasant Chapel Church, little country church out by us, and we went there while the boys were little. And when Carrie came, then as she got older, there just wasn't much kids there. There was a lot of older people, but loving people. It's like a community, and it was
Right.
it was, we enjoyed it. I mean, I taught kids church there, but there was like a handful of kids. So Carrie wanted to, venture out. So, and Barry didn't really want to.
Stuck in his ways.
Yeah. So, but we ended up, she wanted to go to the chapel. We ended up going to the chapel. So we were there probably, I'd say 6 years. And she got married then, but they weren't going as much. So it was just me, and Barry wasn't always going with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then my one son got involved in a program, so I went to that church, left and went to that church to just support him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up here then. This is where I needed to be.
And Barry wasn't going during that time?
He wasn't going, he went to the chapel off and on.
Uh-huh.
He didn't really like chapel.
Oh,
it was just,
it was the church
but you
thing.
needed to get involved. I was in a small group, and I had a Sunday school class of people.
And he wasn't.
And no. So
that matters.
yeah, and you need that. You need that.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm still in touch with some of those up there. I mean, they were some good people, but it was a big church, just like this church is getting big. But
it is.
Yeah, so you have to be involved. I'm in a small group here, and so.
And so, how'd you end up at Life?
Well, actually, Tasha brought me here, Tasha Scepter, but I had come a couple times actually with my son. He wanted to come here that's kind of my thing too. I mean, I had a son that's been in and out of trouble with drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the right path, I think, now, but he still needs to make a real commitment back to him. But that's kind of how I ended up. And he wanted to come here a couple times. He had heard about it, which was, so I came with him. But
what was your first thought?
That I thought it was good. I did, but I didn't know anybody really, and I was just coming with him, and he didn't really make a regular thing of it. So, at that point, I just stayed where I think, because I was going to chapel still then.
Yeah.
I went back to the chapel, but I thought, well, I'll come with him. But that was later. He was in a program, and he went to the Awakening. So he was in the Dream Center, but that didn't work out. So then I came over here. He's got his own story. I don't want to really go into all that, but that's sort of been my faith walk, because if I wouldn't have had, Christ in my life, I would have, and I was up and down. And poor Mike one Sunday when he asked me out, I think I was out there greeting people, and how are you doing, Sally? Well, I just had a bad weekend. And I just broke down, and I felt so bad about that, because I never planned on doing that.
But it is his story, but you also have a story within that. Just like I know that, like from my mom.
Right.
Because
and I helped your mom down there at the store, and her and I have had lots of talks. Yes. I loved your mom. Oh, yeah.
You know Jenny's mom?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she went to the
Wow.
Awakening, then I helped down at the Dream Center store. and-
Right.
So do you?
I tried to get
do you remember
involved
the
as
days
much
of
as-
talking about Jenny?
Oh yeah, we talked.
Yeah.
No,
See,
'cause
that would have been
Well,
great
what
to be a
years
fly
would this
on the
have
wall.
been?
Well, she was going through things with you then,
Probably was somewhere she didn't know where I was.
probably.
What
Wow.
a terrible
But
thing.
yeah, we
Did
both.
you ever
Yeah,
think
we would
about
just
that,
pray
Jenny?
a lot.
No,
You never thought about how terrible that would be to your mother?
no. And I mean, there were times
I don't
where
think
I
they
went
do.
months without talking to her. Like, because
Wow.
I didn't have, she would turn off my cell phone because obviously I wasn't paying for my cell phone. And then I didn't have any communication. I would stay off of like social media so I wouldn't be responding. And she just didn't know where I was. But no, I
Jenny.
never thought about that then. I mean,
Jenny.
Yeah, you don't know what it does.
you don't
to a
think about
mother.
that.
Yeah, can
Yeah.
you imagine what that does to a mom?
No, I couldn't.
Wait till you have kids someday.
I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, okay?
But you are now.
But
You're on
right,
the
I am
path,
now,
and that's
yes.
what's
Yeah, no,
great.
I guess you forget that perspective of
Right.
like,
Right.
yeah, but I figured that would have crossed because you were close with your mom.
Sort of. But you got to think I was on drugs / drinking or doing something since I was 16 years old. So that relationship kind of cut off
Oh.
then.
Okay.
So yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, you have your own story
Right. I mean, and you
within
know,
that.
God's just helped me get through a lot and brought the right people into my life. And, that's when I met Tasha, because I worked for the state Division of Family Resources for 32 years and then worked one for 6 years. So I was with the state for 38 years. But so I was like a
Wow.
family at, the Division of Family Resources until we split up, and then they, decided to privatize everything. The child welfare went this way and the eligibility went the other way. And so then we ended up leaving there altogether and we went to the office on Etna Avenue. So there was only like 4 of us in the beginning. We were doing the phone interviews and that was like all over the state,
No.
Oh, wow.
Is
Is that like CPS or something?
well, we were with CPS, but CPS, we split.
Oh.
I was with the division I did the food stamps, Medicaid, TANF, the eligibility
okay. I know what you're talking about
caseworker.
now.
Yeah. And so we had answered the phones. We took care of the people that came in, and it was just crazy.
Wow.
They didn't listen to us caseworkers like this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
They finally realized that we needed to go back to the individual counties, because I would talk to someone
For
in
the
Jasper.
whole entire state?
Yeah, and I'd be talking to someone in Jasper, Indiana, and you don't know what their work field is. You don't know what to, tell them,
Yeah.
about employers, or
Right.
it was just crazy.
Wow.
It was really, but anyways, and I always loved my job until we privatized, but I wanted to get my years in so I could retire.
Yeah.
Because I had actually went with the impact program, and that's where I worked. I worked with just the TANF group, and we put them into GED classes, and I did mentoring, and I really loved that part of it. But when we privatized, that went with the private sector, so I couldn't go with that. So I had to go back just to the
Yeah.
eligibility part.
Wow.
But
What's the best part about retirement?
I can do whatever I want now. And
That sounds
I
so
volunteer
nice.
a lot.
Yeah,
I
you do.
Yeah.
do it love. I do the meal ministry and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm available. I think that's kind of my gift. I like
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
help people, I think.
You're about to go on a mission trip.
Yes, we're
That's
going on a
so
mission trip.
soon. I
I'm
can't believe
excited.
it.
I know.
Is this your
it
first
is.
one?
No, actually, I went with the chapel on the Katrina.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And that was,
Wow.
I think this will be different.
Yeah.
I mean, we went down there and we, I remember putting the hazard suits on and we, went
Walking
down
in water.
and we cleaned up stuff. I mean, just taking stuff out of buildings and
It
stuff.
was after.
after the
Okay.
Katrina. And then we went and we helped redo this one woman's house, And
Wow.
she was just more than, grateful
Yeah.
for, us. And, I didn't do that. I could hammer a nail. That's what I said down there. I mean, I know maybe the basics, maybe in carrying stuff in, but because I think we're going to be doing building down there or something. But
Yeah.
there's other things.
I think
so.
it's the like a gym that needs remodeled or something.
Is that what it is?
Because something got sunken in, or I think I don't know.
Are
We
you
shall
going?
see.
Yeah.
You're gonna be rebuilding a gym?
I said on my sheet, because it was like, what are you good at? Okay. And I've been in a ton of rehabs, and rehabs are notorious for having consignment shops, thrift stores, whatever. So I have been forced slave work to work in these thrift stores. So if I have to work, okay, I will be grateful for whatever I do, but please, Lord, do not put me in one of those. But anyways, on my paper, I was like, I will do whatever you need me to do. I'm a hard worker. I like sold myself on the sheet. So hopefully they put me on some hardworking stuff.
Okay.
Because I want to get dirty. Like I want it to be a workout.
I mean, like electrician or something. I knew I couldn't do that, but I thought carpentry, basic, I can do whatever. And
yeah,
I did basic on whatever I thought I could do a little something on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can carry stuff in.
Exactly. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, Rayanne's got my muscles up now. So
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, carry stuff in?
Whatever is like a workout. That's what I want to do. I don't want to do some sissy stuff like with organizing and hanging things up on hangers, because that's what a lot of the
Well, if you want some
is.
physical labor, I'll call you the next time somebody calls me and they need somebody to bale hay.
Well, I'm just talking about
that's
like on a
physical
trip.
labor.
Huh?
I'm talking about on this trip.
No, I want to bale hay with you now. I want to.
I am a hard worker.
Oh, listen.
Glinda says I do the work of two people when I'm out there cleaning kennels.
Who?
Glinda, when I'm out cleaning kennels, where
I
Roman
believe
and
it.
Grayson came out.
I believe
She
it.
says I do the work of two people.
I believe
And
it.
that was very nice to hear. She was actually talking
Yeah,
to
you do.
her family, and I overheard her. I was like, really? She was like, you didn't know that? I was like, no.
Yeah.
Touched my soul.
Listen, we all believe that you're a hard worker,
Thank
Jenny.
you.
There's no doubt.
Thank you.
Okay, Sally, you ready for questions?
Question time.
I guess.
You should be ready because there's a lot.
Oh, no.
Sally, you're the best.
Yeah.
There's
All
for
right.
sure some in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Keely Oswald, how are you expecting God to move on the mission trip? Wow. You were
Well,
just talking about the mission
I
trip.
just hope that, I just put out there that I'm ready and whatever he has for me. And hopefully I can witness to somebody and, share my story or, what I've been through on anything that might need,
Mhm.
to help with. I'm not always real good with words, but
But you know what? There's a lot of like drugs and stuff up there. So
Yeah,
I believe something's going to happen. Like there's going to be somebody on drugs there, or somebody like
yeah.
would be perfect for you on your side of it. But like also on my side of it, I just feel like somebody is struggling
Right.
up there.
Wow.
Yeah, and just kind of let them know, that you do care about them and that, Jesus cares about them and they
Yeah.
can change their life and be so much different.
So side note, the first rehab I ever went to was in Kentucky, but it was kind of in Eastern Kentucky, I think. I don't know. But they made us watch this movie on Kentucky and people in the mountains, okay? And this girl was on drugs. And I'm referring back to that movie thinking this is how Eastern Kentucky because it's way up in the mountains. This is like Eastern Kentucky off the grid, okay?
Mhm.
So, and that's what that movie was. So I'm like kind of traumatized.
You're ready.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
traumatized. That movie
I know.
was
I mean, they've been
intense.
already telling us, you can't go away from the site. You got to stay right there.
Yeah, we have to have
somebody's
a
gonna be there
buddy.
with their shotguns or something. It's
I'm not good with buddies.
Huh?
I'm not good with staying in like a group.
You
Like
can't
I
work
like
with
to
somebody?
venture off.
well, we'll
Oh,
have
you
to
look-
watch you.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody
Yes.
get back.
Where'd
Get
Jenny
back
go?
from the mission trip.
Where's Jenny?
No Jenny, but we're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
All right. Next person is Kaylin Griffith. She wants to know, what is your favorite dessert to make?
Ooh, are you?
That is a good
Are you a
one.
baker?
Not really.
Oh,
I know, I thought you were.
yeah. I thought
I
it was
mean,
just-
no,
by
I
the
mean, I
question.
will, but I probably like the strawberry pretzel dessert. I like to make.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so good with like the cream cheese and the
pretzel
Yep.
bottom and
Mm.
salty, sweetie.
Yup.
I've
You've never had that?
I've never heard of that
Oh.
before.
Oh, it is so
Oh,
good.
with the Jello base too. Oh yeah,
It is
It
so
is good. Good
Okay.
in the summer. Yeah.
And then she says, and also want to tell her that I love her personality and smiling face.
Aw.
There's one. There's going to be
She's a
5,000
sweetie.
more. All right. From Adam Shoemaker. What is your favorite story in the Bible? Also, what's a lesson that Jesus has taught you recently? That's a good one.
Is he someone that's going on our trip with us?
No. Nope. Not Adam Shoemaker.
Okay. See, I haven't gotten to know all the boys yet. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I know Adam Shoemaker, but that's
I
good.
think you
Okay.
would.
I probably do.
Yes, you do.
I don't know Job. I just look
Oh.
at Job and think,
What's your
well,
favorite book?
well, no, it's not really my. Is that what he said?
Well,
My favorite.
The
He said
first one was
story.
favorite, but
Oh, his story.
a
okay.
lesson that Jesus has taught you recently.
To be patient, not to, just wait on him.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. That's been my word the last 2 years. I gotta
Mm.
listen because I think I doubt too much, and I want to, make be sure that it's him.
Hmm.
But he's just given me some peace too, that I can't do everything, that I can't fix everything, and I know that he's right there with me, and he's got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's-
And so what is your favorite story in the Bible? Is it Job then?
I just look at Job and think of how much faith that he had,
Yeah.
because I think about that, like if we ever get to the bad days and, can you sacrifice your own, kids, and just the faith he has that he never stopped, even
Yeah.
though he went through
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah Jeffers. Have any good God stories? ? Love you, Sally.
Just I love
Like
you,
any
Sarah, and
crazy God moments that you only knew that was God. It's hard thinking on the spot.
yeah, it is.
It is.
Well, I know when we had that bad accident, God was with us on that, and
Did
'cause
somebody
we-
run into you?
that was back when the boys and I were in a bed. It was I had 2 bad accidents right down in the corner from where we lived.
Wow.
Somebody ran the yield sign first, and then it was a stop sign. But the first one, even my oldest son, we were pretty much, where Barry was pretty much told that, if he's made it, it was the 48 hours, but he probably would be brain
Oh,
dead.
wow.
Barry just went home and opened up the Bible and started reading. Went
Wow.
back, he was awake, and he knew his dad. And
That's a God
Wow.
story right there.
I
Like,
know.
hard to
So
think on the
that's-
spot, but my son
well,
was.
that's what comes to my mind, because we were all miracles. Rod Jackson was just telling me, I saw him at a preschool thing, and he says he always thinks about that because he was first on the site.
So what happened?
And well, the lady ran the yield sign, hit right at my door. Travis was in the front, and back then we didn't wear the seatbelts.
Yeah.
He hit his head. Nathan was in the back, and he had internal injuries. My ankle, Rod was, everybody would tell me it was just like hanging here.
Ew.
But I don't remember none of it. I was
Good
out running
thing.
around yelling for help.
You were?
Yeah. And I don't remember. I was just in shock.
Yeah.
I had to be in shock. And then I remember at the hospital at Lutheran, I just remember all these pastors, because the pastor that was at the little church over there by us, because they lived out there,
Uh-huh.
and our pastor, my sister's pastor, and my mother-in-law, and I thought, man, I'm on my way out,
When all
I
the
would've
preachers
thought
show
that
up and things in
too.
trouble.
But we had lots of people praying. A lot of people that it was a miracle. And I remember the doctor coming up to me and telling me that, because I was in the hospital almost 3 weeks. Because I had a
Wow.
broken ankle, the crushed vertebrae. I had to go home in a back brace, and I knocked my front teeth out, and I had a
Oh, my.
concussion. But the boys went home after 2 weeks. But he said, that Travis was just a miracle of God. He actually, he admitted, he says, nothing but the doctors did. He said he was a miracle
Wow.
because they thought for sure he'd have brain damage.
How fast was the person going?
I don't think,
What was the speed limit on that road?
well, it would have been like 55.
That's a lot.
And she lived on that road. But I know the person. She was a really nice lady.
Oh, you
It's
know
just
the
one of those
person?
things. Yeah, I've got hit by 2 people that lived on that road.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
But it's, it was in like the
Yeah.
cornfields and everything are up, and just So when I go at that corner, I always kind of slow down or
Yeah.
look real
Wow.
carefully because they do run it a lot
Yeah.
still. But that was a miracle.
Wow.
Sarah's probably already heard that one, but I love Sarah too.
But that's a good one. I'm sure other people haven't heard that. All right, Emily Krieger, you love serving others and it really does show, but sometimes we have to step back and take care of ourselves. What is your absolute favorite way to treat yourself? That's a good question.
Treat myself. Well,
Self-care.
yeah. Just take a day just for myself and do what I want to do. If I don't want to do nothing, and
I think you do
I don't
that well.
do that very often.
I think you do because you go biking and you go walking, and
I
that's
like
your
my
like your
biking and-
time.
Yeah, that's my time.
You don't think that that's taking care
The
of yourself?
self-care thing, get on a bicycle
Yeah.
and bike for 10 miles.
Yes.
I don't know what you're caring for.
I
But
do. I enjoy it.
You're by yourself. You're in nature.
Yeah.
I think it's self-care.
But I mean, yeah, I enjoy coming to the gym. That's the main thing. It's just the fellowship with the girls here. I love everybody here, and it's just fun. But there's times I'm just saying I don't have nothing to do today.
Yeah.
I don't have to run no grandkids anywhere, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm not, I'm gonna stay in my pajamas for a while.
Yeah.
But
Simple.
don't do that often. But
All right, Lisa Lice, what is the force behind your beautiful smile and what keeps you motivated to work out at Champs?
well, the girls, they all keep me motivated.
Yeah,
And,
great accountability.
Yep. And
if you don't show up, do they call you? Have you ever not showed
we
up?
all have a text thing. We text each other saying that we aren't going to make it or whatever. But
Got it.
we just, I usually show up.
Yeah.
But if somebody's gone, then it is like you reach out and
you
ask.
just tell them, you miss them, and hopefully you make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't know what's behind my smile. I guess I
You're happy.
Exactly.
I'm
Yes.
happy.
You got a chance at life, second life, or whatever that is when they say that.
You can't be sad all the time. You got to be.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy life, what you can. Yeah.
Cindy Marshall. Sally is an amazing lady. Where does she love to serve the most or wants to serve in the future?
Just wherever God puts me.
Where have you
There's a-
not served? You know what I mean? Have you done pretty much everything here? Have you been at the door, a greeter?
I was in the foyer thing. Yeah, I would probably do we do the one Sunday of the donuts and that, and then I have a third Sunday. I do the nursery.
Wow.
So but I've told them if I'm available, I can help out. But
Which
But I
one
would
would you
do-
choose?
which one? Well, I like them both. I like because I see a lot of people. I probably should do the door, and I might see more people. I told Barry that we should do the door because now I don't even. I find out we saw somebody when we were doing the donuts that we knew from Roanoke, and
Oh, wow.
I didn't know you were going here.
Yeah, it's
He's been
amazing.
coming, a few weeks, but yeah, but I like doing whatever. I've done when we've had concerts, I've helped with that. And if I
You
guess
just want to serve.
I just want to serve.
Yeah.
if I can. Yeah.
All right, Karen Bennett. Sally, what do you feel were some of your biggest wins or accomplishes from your time at DCS?
Okay. Karen, I knew she was going to ask. Karen used to be one of my mentors.
Oh, really?
And, oh, yeah.
What's DCS stand for?
Division. Well, actually, that's Department of Child Services when
Oh,
we were
got
all
it.
one. But it was when I worked the eligibility part. But when I did the impact, I did like a mentoring program, and she came on as one of my mentors. And the Victory Knoll ladies, I loved them. They were some of my mentors. But just seeing anybody that, because you have generation after generation. And if somebody can break that,
Yeah.
because it's really hard, and I think just the accomplishment of just being there for the people. I always remember my mentor, when I first started, she had said, you never know when you're going to be on the other side of the desk. So I think just treating people the way that you'd want to be treated, and they all have a story.
Yep.
they would come in, and that's one thing I missed when we privatized, because then you didn't see the people as much, and you didn't have more one-on-one because everything went to the phone.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just needed somebody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
They could come in really, but you didn't know their story. You can't just be hateful. And but I think I just learned to care about people and know that everybody's got a story, and you should be available to listen if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Oh.
All right, from Chris S. If you could go back, what's one thing that you would tell yourself after graduating high school? That is a great question.
Wow. Like right after graduating high school?
Right after, like around that time, yes.
Really start listening to Jesus and not do the Actually, my graduation, we were the last ones that we did at the Craig Mom Field.
Oh, wow.
Because my class was pretty wild.
Was it?
The boys had all the firecrackers, and they wouldn't let us back in the Craig Mom Field after that. Everybody had to do it at the gym.
Oh, my. So it used to be at Craig Mom?
Yeah, it used to be at Craig Mom. But
wow.
We had a fun class. But I think I would have maybe studied harder, and probably would have maybe I should have went to college. I did classes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get a degree. At the state, when I started there, I worked my way up to a caseworker, just grandfathered in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would have rather had went and got, more education, and maybe even been in, I think I did what God wanted me to do, because it was really helping people.
Yeah. All right. The last one from Jessie Haft. They are adorable. And she's talking about the picture I took from your Facebook. And what advice would you give to young mothers, especially about guiding children in their faith?
Just, like with my 2 little grandsons, because I didn't do everything perfect with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I think it's important, that you sit down at a meal, teach them how to pray. My little ones now, I always say, we got to pray now. And the one little one just right away says, "Thank you, Jesus, for this hamburger," whatever.
That's cute.
He's ready to quit.
Yeah.
And I'll say, "No, what about this day and for our family?" And, he does it real quick, but that's, that's just part of it. Just being there for them, and, going to church, being involved, and just loving on others, and, let them know that, people need to have Christ in their life, and we got to do what we can do.
Yeah. Show it.
Yeah.
Show it.
Yeah. Show it.
Yes. Show it. Show it.
Show it. Wow. That was a lot
others.
of questions.
Yeah. That just shows how popular you're.
Exactly. I
Popular
love that you are.
I was worried about questions. I thought I'm going to get put on the spot.
Yeah, well, Sally, again, so thanks for coming on. Again, we enjoy hearing about your story. Obviously, you're making an impact on lots of people.
Right.
And I do think it's cool that, the example of you coming to Champs and you meet a group of people, and then it goes from workout to, doing life together in a small group. I think that's just a testament to, community means a lot, and being with people and doing those things together, and then moving on to learning together and building lifelong friendships. And we can all learn from those things, so so thanks for being on again. Jenny, finish us up with the number.
Yes, with the number, with the questions that I just asked. Those are coming from our texting group that I send each week. So if you would like to be on our texting group, go ahead and text podcast to 260-408-8383, and you will be on there, and you will receive our text each week letting you know who's going to be on it. And we want you to ask questions back so you could be involved. And then if you know somebody that wants to be a guest, or you yourself want to be a guest, or you just want to say hey throughout the week, just send us a text.
Yeah. If you're out there and you're listening and or watching, if you see Sally at church, come up and say hi. That's the other reason that we do the podcast, is that you can put a story with a face, with a name, and so you can get opportunity to know them. So hopefully, and we have heard this, that people are doing that and coming up. And so if you see, you guys in church, make sure you come up and say hi. And again, when Jenny puts this clip out, if you can like it, share it, comment on it. It gives us an opportunity to be able to get it out to more people. So thanks for joining us, and we'll
Yes.
see you guys next
Okay.
week.
Bye.